The Ring of Truth. One day, the young King Alaric of an ancient kingdom was travelling through a quiet forest filled with tall trees and singing birds. Sunlight filtered gently through the leaves, and the land felt peaceful and alive. In that same forest lived a young woman named Eleanor, who spent her days collecting firewood and flowers. As she worked, she sang softly, her voice blending with the rhythm of nature. The king noticed her grace and simplicity, and his heart was deeply moved. He approached her kindly, and they spent the day together, speaking warmly and sharing laughter. As the hours passed, a tender bond grew between them, and by evening their closeness became an intimate connection. Later, Eleanor spoke with fear in her voice. "My lord," she said, "I feel a strange heaviness within me. I fear that a new life may have begun inside me. What will become of me now?" King Alaric tried to calm her and said, "Do not be afraid. Take this royal ring with you. If you give birth to a daughter, you may sell it and raise her in comfort. If you give birth to a son, give him this ring and send him to the palace." With these words, the king returned to his royal life. Months later, Elena gave birth to a baby boy, whom she named Leon. She raised him with patience, sacrifice, and deep love. However, as Leon grew older and began to play with other children, they mocked him cruelly, calling him a child without a father. One evening, unable to bear the pain any longer, Leon returned home in tears and asked, "Mother, who is my father?" Seeing her son's sorrow, Eleanor knew the time had come to seek the truth. She dressed Leon in fine clothes like a young prince and travelled to the royal palace, carrying the ring she had protected for years. Though the guards stopped her at first, the sight of the royal ring caused them to inform the king immediately. King Alaric ordered them to be brought before the court. Standing before the throne, Elena spoke bravely. She reminded the king of their meeting in the forest and said, "My lord, this is your son, Leon." The king remembered the past, but fear and shame clouded his heart. Before the court, he denied everything. He claimed he could not remember such an event and said the ring was not his. Shaken and desperate, Eleanor lifted her eyes and spoke aloud before everyone. "If my words are true and this child is indeed yours, let him rise and float in the air as a sign before all." With trembling hands, she lifted Leon upward, and a miracle unfolded. The child gently rose from the ground and floated in the air, untouched by fear. Then Leon spoke with a calm voice beyond his years. "Father, please accept me and treat me as all fathers treat their sons." The royal court stood in stunned silence. At that moment, truth overcame pride. King Alaric stepped forward, his eyes filled with regret. He admitted his wrongdoing before all, apologized to Eleanor, and embraced Leon as his son. The king crowned Eleanor as his queen, and from that day onward, they lived together as a united family, guided by honesty, responsibility, and love. Truth may be delayed by fear and pride, but it can never be denied forever. True greatness lies in accepting responsibility and honoring those we are bound to protect.